Hello everyone. I'm so happy to be here. The speeches so far has been so great and such a learning opportunity for me. I want to tell you a story that is a decade old. A story that starts when I was just a class 8 student back in 2013. I was very fortunate that even in 2013 our family had an internet connection, that too with unlimited data. At a point in time where even 35 kbps was considered as fast internet, I was blazing with 50 kbps. I know, it was very fast. That only meant my exposure to the internet was far earlier than most of my other batchmates in my school, which led me to a lot of discovery over the internet. One thing which I particularly found was something called as YouTube. तुम लोगों ने शायद देखा होगा. So after coming back from school, I used to spend so much hours just looking at videos from amazing creators all over the world. And it always fascinated me how the internet unlocked such a huge stage. You can be sitting somewhere in Sweden and making videos, and a person living in Nagpur would be able to watch them. I was never really a studious kid back in class 8. वो बाद में आगे होगा. But I was always very curious. So one day in our class, it was announced that we are going to have a science fair. So in a science fair, if you're not aware, groups of students create some science projects, assemble and explain those projects to people. I was very excited, and after a lot of research, asking family, asking my sister, asking everybody, क्या बनाना है? We arrived at a conclusion that I want to make something called as a Newton's disk. So Newton, back in the day, he was a very famous guy, I would say. He proposed that white light is composed of so many different colors. So that was the principle of the Newton's disk. If you spin a rainbow colored disk very fast, it will turn white. मुझे बहुत fascinating लगा, and after finally convincing my mom to buy me a DC motor of 55 rupees, I made it happen. मैं बहुत enthusiasm से fair में गया मेरे Newton's disk लेके, and I was hoping कि मैं first prize जीत जाऊँ. But unfortunately, the baking soda volcano girls won the first prize once again. कुछ नहीं, हार सबके लाइफ में होती है, बट उससे सीख लेना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट ईयर मैं बेकिंग सोडा वॉल्केनो बना और मैं प्राइज लिया. सो आफ्टर कमिंग बैक होम, मैं डिसअपॉइंटमेंट में नहीं था, बिकॉज आई हैड मेड समथिंग अमेजिंग. आई हैड मेड अ न्यूटन्स डिस्क, एंड आई डोंट नो वेदर इट वॉज माई अर्ली एक्सपोजर टू द इंटरनेट और वेदर इट वॉज माई क्यूरियोसिटी टुवर्ड्स साइंस. आई थॉट, why shouldn't I explain what a Newton's disk is and put it on a platform which I had recently discovered called as YouTube. So using my laptop's webcam, I first shot my video and it was like, hello everyone, I've got a Newton's disk. So it's still available on my channel if you want to go and watch it. And I uploaded it. थोड़ी बहुत editing की, publish किया. 3.5 hours लगे थे उस समय वो एक छोटे से वीडियो को अपलोड करने को. I still remember. But I was really happy after doing that. Nobody really saw it, but it started a fire inside me. It started a curiosity inside me. I really wanted to now learn what is the process in which you can shoot, you can edit and you can tell a story. The process that is commonly known as filmmaking. वहाँ से वो एक छोटी सी न्यूटन्स डिस्क से मेरे अंदर एक फायर शुरू हुई. A passion which you say. And over the course of my school, I started learning exactly the same. The first thing which I learned was how to pirate different softwares from uTorrent, because उनके बिना कुछ नहीं होता था. And after that, I learned how to edit, how to shoot properly, how to add a color grade, how to add text, how to add a green screen, how to add a chroma key. All of these are video editing components. And throughout my entire school life, I made around 50 videos, which I'm sure nobody will ever see. Some with my friends, some with my family, some to post online, some for my school fair, some for my annual function for my school, और एक शायद मेरा बेकिंग सोडा वॉल्केनो का भी उसमें है. So I did that, and then right as I entered 10th, I remembered, अरे मैं इंडियन हूँ, and my relatives told me, बेटा बस 10th तक पढ़ ले, आगे तो मज़े ही मज़े है. So I believed that, and they told me, अभी ये वीडियो सब छोड़, YouTube वगैरह छोड़. At that time I was very famous in my class because I had a total of 76 subscribers. I know, सारी लड़कियां मेरे पीछे क्रेजी थी. I was very famous. ठीक है. So मैंने वो वीडियो वगैरह का काम छोड़ दिया and I continuously focused only and only on studies. अब जो 8th स्टैंडर्ड का अनुज था 10th में बहुत डिफरेंट हो गया था. उसका एक ही मोटो था लाइफ में, पढ़ाई करो और सिर्फ पढ़ाई करो। 10th तो अच्छे से निकल गया, अच्छा रैंक आ गया। मैं जैसे ही 11th में पहुंचा, द सेम रिलेटिव्स, बेटा बस नीट तक पढ़ ले, आगे तो मज़े ही मज़े है। दे वर नॉट रॉन्ग, बट दे वर नॉट राइट ईदर। So my Agni Pariksha, my tapasya for NEET began. Every day after my tuition class, I used to study for 6 to 7 hours. Gave my 100% in the last 6 months. I don't know मैंने कितने papers solve किए. But in the end, the result was very, very positive. I was given an all India rank of 885 out of the 1.5 million people who gave the exam, which allowed me to pursue my dream of becoming a doctor from one of the best colleges in India, GMC Nagpur. So with all enthusiasm, I entered first year. And आगे तो तुम समझ ही गए हो क्या होने वाला है. The same relatives came to me and told me, बेटा बस MBBS तक पढ़ ले, आगे तो मज़े ही मज़े है. And as a person who has just completed their MBBS, I highly doubt that statement. मज़े ही मज़े वाले फेज को तुम ढूंढते रह जाओगे, but it won't come. You have to realize that this phase is right now. So this hit me at one particular instance more than it hit me at other times. Again वो studious nature जो था 10th से develop हुआ था, पढ़ो वो continue हुआ. And first year में results भी अच्छा है. मैं इसी stage पे I think 2019 में biochemistry quiz देने आया था. I think वहाँ पे हमारा quiz था मेरे quizmate के साथ. Anyways, so first year happened and one time I was walking with my friend who was the best drummer of GMC Nagpur, Manav. He asked me, यार अनुज, मैं तुझे जानता हूँ, तू मेरा दोस्त है, but I don't really know what you do apart from studies. I mean, you go home, all you do is study. And to my surprise, I really had nothing to answer. तो जो usually हम बोलते हैं अगर इंटरव्यू में हमें किसी ने पूछा, यार तुम what are your hobbies? मुझे बुक्स रीड करनी बहुत अच्छी लगती है. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट आई टोल्ड हिम. बुक्स कौन सी? ग्रेज एनाटमी, गाइटन एंड ऑल, टेक्स्ट बुक ऑफ फिजियोलॉजी, वासुदेवन टेक्स्ट बुक ऑफ बायोकेमिस्ट्री. एंड दैट मोमेंट इट हिट मी. आई हैड अ रियलाइजेशन एंड एपिफनी दैट द इंडियन एजुकेशन इज सच that it allows us to only and only focus on padhai and padhai. In a country like India, that is also very essential because the shortest path to your financial success is education. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति में भी I think ऐसी ही लाइन बोलते हैं अमिताभ सर. So at the same time, the inner artist within us, the person who was very curious about dance, about arts, about making videos and Newton's disc, that person dies a slow, gradual, painful death. Don't believe me? Ask your mom. मम्मी तुम क्या करते थे जब तुम मेरे उम्र के थे? And your mom will tell you, मैं बहुत अच्छा डांस करती थी, मैं बहुत अच्छा गाना गाती थी, मैं रंगोली डालती थी, पेंट करती थी. And ask your dad, पापा तुम क्या करते थे, तुम मेरे एज के थे? He'll tell you, यार मैं बहुत अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलता था, मैं बहुत अच्छा फुटबॉल खेलता था और मैं बहुत कुछ और भी करता था. So it was a very fun time in their lives. But most of the adults that you look at right now are usually the entire life is surrounded by one thing, that is job. So we actively take out time of our life to devote to our career. Sometimes most of the people don't like the career which they are choosing. But we actually try to not take out time for our hobbies, for our passions, for the things that actually make us happy. Even we as students do the same thing. 9 to 5 college है, 5 से 10 आके तुम थोड़ा Instagram scroll कर लो, reels देख लो, shorts देख लो, कभी कभार मेरे भी videos देख लेना. And lastly 10 बजे डे ओवर, थोड़ी बहुत पढ़ाई करके वी कॉल इट अ डे. सो आई रियलाइज दिस दैट आई वॉज नॉट लिविंग 365 days of a year. I was just living one day 365 times. And it was a big realization for me. A lot of the people sitting in the audience might be realizing this right now. But it's okay, it's never too late. I came across a concept when I was reading non-fiction books finally जब शुरू किया मैंने, called as the pillars of happiness. And I'll let you know that concept in a few minutes. And it's very important for me to know that because without it my story is incomplete. ये roof देख रहे हो? Can you all see this roof? बोलो हाँ. Imagine this roof to be your happiness. ये roof ऐसी ही नहीं खड़ी है. There are pillars which are supporting this roof, making it stand tall. It is stable right now. Exactly the way that there are some qualities in you, some qualities in your life which make this roof of happiness very, very stable, that prevent it from falling down. Those qualities are something which is irreplaceable from you, something which gives you happiness. तो कुछ लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हैं. I would like to ask you, what are your pillars of happiness? Most of the people would say, career एक मेरा important pillar है, because without it, I'm incomplete. Family एक important pillar है, because without them, मुझे खुशी नहीं होती. मम्मी पापा दुखी है तो मैं कैसे खुश हो सकता हूँ? And lastly, my health. Health is a priority because a sick person has only one wish, whereas a healthy person has thousands of wishes. Very rarely people can count 4 pillars, and even more rarely people can go up to 5. So what happens is that when you are going ahead in your life, एक pillar को तुम ज़्यादा focus देते हो. Let's say you go into a PG. Let's say you take a difficult branch. Your career pillar will be standing so tall and so stable. But will you be able to give time to your family or your health? No. So do you think the roof will be stable? No. Your roof will be liable to break. So let's say something even happens to your career वाला pillar. तुम्हारा HOD से झगड़ा हो जाता है, डिपार्टमेंट में झगड़ा हो जाता है, तुम्हारा इंटर्न टेड टॉक देने आ जाता है तो पोस्टिंग मिस कर देता है. So your happiness will come crashing down. So it's very important to have more pillars of happiness to have a stable life in the future. So now that we have got this pillar of happiness, I'll tell you what I did. I came back home, ये पूरा epiphany हुआ 4-5 घंटे का, पढ़ाई तो बंद हो गई. And then I thought, I will not let my passions die. I will not let my inner child just fade away just like that. So I started re-exploring what I had forgotten back when I was in class 9th or 10th. I started with photography, then I started learning the guitar. It was difficult at first, fingertips बहुत hurt करती है if anybody has tried to learn the guitar. But I consistently did it because I liked it. And lastly, I thought मेरी junior batch आने वाली है in 2019. So I started to record videos for them, videos that would help them. And I only did it, absolutely only did it, because it was something which I was passionate about. I liked making videos, that's why I still make them. Which also happens to be the success mantra for YouTube. If you're going into YouTube thinking, fame आ जाएगी, पैसा आ जाएगा, success आ जाएगा, कभी नहीं मिलेगा. But if you're going thinking, कि I like doing this, only and only then will you be able to consistently do it without a problem, without a frown on your face. So what happened? Slowly and slowly, as a byproduct of my passions, as a byproduct of when I was converting my passions to a very strong pillar of my happiness, people started noticing. A small community gradually formed which expanded over the years. People started feeling related to what the content I'm making. I'm sure you can all relate to it. And finally, it was really a moment for me when a lot of NEET aspirants came to me and told me कि सर हम आपके कारण MBBS लेना चाहते हैं. So a byproduct of just making videos out of my bedroom, so many things were happening outside the world. I believed in this thing called as the butterfly effect. So Edward Norton proposed this theory back in the day that the flap of wings of a random butterfly in California, Los Angeles and all, will cause a flood all the way in New York. So I believe that that butterfly effect spatially तो उतना अप्लाई नहीं होगा, मतलब यहाँ पे बटरफ्लाई ने मारा और वहाँ से फ्लड आया, शायद हो ना हो, but temporally it is very very valuable. You cannot really determine यहाँ पे तुमने इस point in time पे जो किया वो तुम्हारी यहाँ की journey को कैसे influence करे. And just like I said, the byproduct of just making videos has made me stand in front of you 3.5 years later after recording my first video as a TEDx speaker, as a medical student with the most subscribed medical channel of entire India. And I'm so happy about that. Surely it took some time and effort, but the fact that I consistently did it transformed it from just being a passion, just being a hobby of mine, to becoming a pillar of my happiness that I can rely on. Proven by the fact that when my exams of MBBS were going on, I still used to hit the record button just to relieve my stress, because it was a very strong pillar of my happiness. So, to all the college students who are sitting here, you guys have an unlimited potential. But what you do, according to me, is that if this is your entire life, ये circle जो तुम देख रहे हो, if this is your entire life, you don't realize that college is only this part of your बड़ा वाला circle. You make your college life the entire thing. But you have to realize that you have a life outside of college too. Don't be bound by 9 to 5. Don't forget your inner child just because you have classes or just because you have exams. Don't let the inner artist within you die. Convert your passions to strong pillars which will support you in the future. And you don't know why, and you don't know how. It might be a financial aid for you. It might help you to pay off your student loans. It might help you to pay off your tuition fees. And it might help you achieve unbelievable dreams. Trust me, I've lived through all of that. So, Like I said, don't make college 100% your life. It is a part of your life. And promise me that everybody who is sitting in the audience will go home today and start to explore what they left behind. Start to explore what they left behind when they were in class 9th and 10th. Because I know that if I can do it, you all can do it 10 times better than me. So the next time you're walking along with your friend who is a drummer, and if he asks you, "Yeah, what do you do apart from studies?" You smile and say, "Where do I start from?" Thank you so much, everyone.